Welcome to the Best Counsel, aka Advice I Can Offer podcast. First, I would like to make the following disclaimer. This is not an advice podcast. I do not offer advice. I offer what I consider to be counsel. Counsel is what I have learned and what I have experienced in my life journey. If something I say on this podcast resonates with you and can help you, good. But I am not telling you what to do. I am just offering counsel. Hello, this is Reverend Cornelius Brown, and I would like to welcome you to episode 3 of my podcast series, 7 Things Every Married Couple Should Know. Episode 3 is entitled Best Friends. On the day that I and my wife Terry married 38 years ago, we were not best friends. Now, I can imagine, though, that some of you, when you heard the words best friend and marriage together, that you may have come to the conclusion that I was going to suggest that you should marry the person who is currently your best friend. If you are blessed to marry your best friend on the day you get married, God bless you. But most folk who get married are more likely to be like myself and my wife Terry, who on the day we got married was the love of my life. But my best friend on that day was my best man named David. Most of us are not going to marry our best friend. In this podcast, I would like to stress, though, the importance of becoming best friends once you are married. On the day of your marriage, you don't have to be best friends, but becoming your mate's best friend is one of the greatest blessings of marriage. The day I married my wife Terry, I knew that I was getting someone to have and to hold through sickness and in health until death do us part. But I never dreamed that I was also going to get the person who would be disappointed with me when my teams lost, who would giggle and laugh with me at almost anything, and also the person who I could always tell my most inner thoughts and not have to worry about her telling anybody else. 38 years ago, I gained a wife, but most of all, I also got a best friend. And I am glad that me and my wife became best friends for many reasons. But I am glad because I have seen, and in my 60 plus years of this journey, and many of you know this, that there are husbands and wives who will treat their outside best friend like gold and treat their mates like dirt. Many of you know what I'm talking about. We will always forgive our outside best friend, but not our own husband or wife. We would never forget our outside best friend's birthday, but we can't remember our own wedding anniversary. You will tell your husband or wife you can't go with them on that day because you've already made a commitment on that date with your outside best friend. When you and your mate becomes best friends, one of the most beautiful things is you don't have to worry about arguing about outside best friends because you are each other's best friend. I don't know exactly when I and my wife Terry became best friends, but I do know she's been the best friend I could ever hope for. I had the privilege to serve as a pastor for over 30 years, and one thing I always saw among the strongest married couples that I knew and met, they always had this one thing in common. They were each other's best friends. At the end of his movie, 50 First Dates, Adam Sandler, the actor, acknowledged his dad who had passed. And I will always appreciate that in that acknowledgement he wrote that his mom had lost her best friend. I hope you will join me next week for episode 4 of this series. Episode 4 is entitled The Third Person. Be blessed and tell someone about the series. You never know how it will bless them. Take care, and I'll talk with you next week.